what I have read before all meetings, and then I have a few other comments I want to make regarding board policy and things like that. I think the most important thing that we want out of this community comment is the fact that anyone who speaks to the board felt like they're listened to. And it's very important. I think also, in order to facilitate that, I go over these things as rules or guidelines, and everything I say comes from board policy. And I think if we have a common set of rules and an understanding of those things, that can help, because we really want you to leave feeling that you're listened to, and we want to have a good feeling about having been able to listen to you during this time. So I'm going to go over a few things, and then when I'm done, Mr. Collins, our school district attorney, has a few things that I can't say because they just tend to be more legal, and I'm not qualified to quite go there. But so we'll start here. And you've heard this before. Welcome to the Chippewa Valley Board of Education meeting. We appreciate your attendance or meeting. Community stakeholders are welcome to address the board from the community portion of our meeting, which is now. We have developed the following guidelines for public participation at the meeting. Individuals may speak to the board during our from the community portion of the agenda. Speakers will be called on by Mr. Pearl, the presiding officer. In our board policy, and I think these are important things that would be helpful for everyone to follow. Participants shall direct all comments to the presiding officer of the board, not to individual board members, the superintendent, or other district employees or members of the audience. So this is right from board policy. When you come up and you make comments, if you would just direct them to Mr. Pearl, we're all sitting here, we all hear them. Excuse me. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No person may address or question board members individually. Public comments that are personally directed and abusive, obscene, and irrelevant, such as commenting on matters that are beyond the scope of the board's authority or district's authority, or which constitute an invasion of the privacy of a student or staff member, shall not be permitted. The presiding officer shall give notice to cease such comments. So I think that sitting through meetings when the community has made a lot of comments, I think that these are all very doable. And I think in most instances, people do try to follow these things. I don't think they're difficult. And I think by the end of the meeting, hopefully that has given you a sense that we've listened when you've spoken, and that we feel good about the meeting at the end, regardless if we hear things that maybe we disagree with. That's always going to happen in community comment. So that's kind of from a kind of my perspective on this. And then I'm just going to turn it over to Mr. Collins, because some of it tends to be more legal, and I think that's important to understand. So Mr. Collins.
Yeah, thank you. We had an example at the first part of this meeting about a point of order. And a point of order is a point that something is not being complied with. It could occur on the board. It could occur during public comment. And so you saw when a point of order is made, the conversation stops and there is a discussion of what is the proper way to go forward, or if it can go forward. And as you saw at the board meeting, they found an alternative way to move forward because the initial motion was not an appropriate way. Same thing can happen in public commentary. We could have an individual that goes over the time limit, point of order, their time is over, they should cease talking. If we have an individual that talks about the relatives of a school employee or a board member, point of order, the conversation needs to stop. If we have issues regarding personal attacks on people, once again, that would be a point of order. The idea is not to censor people. The idea is to allow people, just like we did with the board, to find an appropriate way to go forward. A school district is a limited public forum because we are a limited government. And a limited public forum means it has to be commentary on the school district, on something that it's working, or something it has the authority or that's tangential to that. So there may be times, just like at the first part of the board meeting, when we ask for points of order, when we would do the same thing on public commentary. Just wanted to let people know ahead of time, if that occurs, that is what is occurring, is saying that particular line of questioning is out of bounds with regard to school board policy.
Thank you, Mr. Collins.
Thank you.
Mr. Roberts. Ready to go. First person is Paul S.